Mathew, and welcome to another English lesson. Today, we are going to learn a new lesson, that is, the race. I hope many of you have heard of the story, or many of you are familiar with the story, that is, the hare and the tortoise. Today, we are going to learn about the same story, but the author has brought out a new version of the story. Let us learn together.
Hira, Hare, and Tutu Tortoise were neighbors. They even went to the same school. Tutu was friendly and helpful. He always had a smile on his face and everyone liked him. Hira was jealous. I am so smart and so fast. I am better than he is, thought Hira. I should be the popular one. Whenever he saw Tutu, Hira made fun of him. Your name should be Slowpoke, not Tutu, he would say. Tutu never said anything to Hira, but he felt bad. He knew he was slow, but there was nothing he could do about it. That was just how he was. One day, Tutu was walking back from school when Hira called out, Slowpoke, and laughed. Tutu couldn't take it anymore. Why are you so mean? He asked. Hira was surprised. Tutu had never said anything to him before. I am not mean, he said. You are just a slowpoke. That's a fact. Tutu stared at Hira for a minute. Then he said, Let's run a race from the end of our street to the school gate. If you win, I will give you 10 carrots. But if you lose... Hira was rolling on the ground with laughter. Loss? A race? Against you? He screamed, holding his stomach. Oh, you are too funny. If you lose, said Tutu firmly, you will stop calling me a slowpoke. Done, howled Hira. He was laughing so hard that there were tears running down his face. They decided to run the race in the morning. Tutu went home and spoke to his brothers. He had a plan. He gave each of them a white hanky. You meet Hira tomorrow with this hanky at the end of the street, he told his first brother Kesha. You wait near the clock tower with this hanky, he told his second brother Tilak. And you wait near the mall, he told his third brother Jagu. And I will wait near the school gates with this one, he said, waving his sword. The brothers grinned. They all looked so alike. The clock tower and the mall were on the way to the school. They set off at once, and by the time it was morning, everyone was in position. Hira arrived late for the race. When he saw Kesha with the white hanky, he smiled, thinking it was Tutu. Hira was racing towards the clock tower. He saw Tilak waving a white hanky and crawling ahead. He thought it was Tutu. What? He shouted. How did that happen? He ran faster and was ahead of Tilak in no time. Tilak grinned. Hira looked worried. The plan was working. Hira was breathless by the time he reached the mall. He had run so fast. But what was this? He could see a white hanky waving ahead of him. Hira panicked. He ran even faster and went past Jagu. You are going to lose, Tutu, he called out to Jagu. Jagu just smiled. Hira sighed with relief. He was nearly there. He ran up to the school gates with his eyes closed. He was that tired. I am here, he said when he reached the gate. Welcome, said Tutu softly, waving his white hanky. What? Howled Hira, opening his eyes. He couldn't believe it. Well fought, said Tutu, but I have won the race. Remember your promise? Hira was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Tutu just smiled. Why don't you come home and have some juice? You look tired, he said. Hira was ashamed of himself. He had been so mean to Tutu, but Tutu wasn't making fun of him for losing the race. Okay, he said, smiling back at the tortoise, and the two of them walked back to Tutu's house, slowly.
I hope this learning experience was useful and informative. Thank you and have a nice day.